Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this how to play video I'm going to take a look at one of the most powerful decks to have surfaced so far in the Witchwood, Spiteful Druid. As the name implies, Spiteful Druid is heavily focused on the card Spiteful Summoner, a 6-mana 4/4 that as a battle cry summons a random minion of the same cost as the spell it reveals from your deck. Consequently, this deck only has 2 spells in it. 2 copies of Ultimate Infestation, which means that as long as at least 1 copy of Ultimate Infestation is still in your deck when you play the Spiteful Summoner, you are guaranteed to get a 10-drop. And 10-drops in the Witchwood are all at least 8/8s, and the biggest one are 12/12s. So you're going to get some really powerful minions from there. As a downside, because there are only 2 spells in the deck, there are several times when you cannot get Spiteful Summoner to actually summon anything, because around 10-15% of the time you will have drawn both Ultimate Infestations already before you can even play the first Spiteful Summoner. While this could be fatal for many of the Spiteful decks, Druid is the one deck that can handle this, because the power of Ultimate Infestation itself is so great that you can win games even when you miss the Spiteful Summoner value, although you of course prefer to get the Spiteful Summoner value because it is immense. However, Ultimate Infestation refills your hand, gives you a 5/5, it does everything for you, so you can just play your minions, go for a tempo game, push a lot of pressure, and then refill with the Ultimate Infestation, get a bunch of new minions, play those again. So even if you lose the value from Spiteful Summoner, you still have a good chance to win the game. The early game of Spiteful Druid starts with Firefly, which is an excellent card. It can be a 1-drop, it can be a 2-drop, very flexible card for the early game. Glacial Shard can sometimes also be an early game card, but it's also a card that can be useful at any stage, because you can freeze an opponent's minion so that either you can dictate trades, or you get to go phase, or you get to defend, whatever you need. Spiteful Druid builds generally go for Prince Kelazet as their only 2-drop. That Kelazet buff on all of the Druid's minions is just so strong, especially combined with the fact that with the Ultimate Infestation you get to draw a ton of cards. Even this kind of spell-less Druid still has some ramp capabilities as well, thanks to Greedy Sprite. And if you can get Greedy Sprite down and you can get it killed, that means that you can often also get to play Spiteful Summoner already on 5, or with the coin even as early as turn 4. You also have some excellent defenses against aggressive decks, with Crypt Lord being a taunt minion that just grows and grows, Druid of the Sky being a multi-use minion. It can either be a taunt, or you can use it to rush down some opponent's minion. Excellent for killing stuff like Mana Worms, for example. Tar Creeper and Saranoid Chain Gang further finish this early taunt lineup, so you have plenty of taunts and plenty of ways to defend yourself with this deck. Another important tool both defensively and offensively is the Death Knight hero, Malfurion the Pestilent. When you're defending against aggro decks, Malfurion gives you armor, it gives you some taunt minions, it gives you ability to gain even more armor. And when you're facing control decks, Malfurion turns your hero power into 3 damage. So with Malfurion, you're able to keep playing minions and weave in 3 damage to all of your turns. Other great offensive tools include the Cobalt Scalebane and Fungal Mancer, because you have these taunt minions like Tar Creeper, like Crypt Lord, low attack, high health. You can turn them into high attack, high health minions with these buff cards and make them even more dangerous. This build also includes the Lich King. Lich King is generally just a very, very strong late game card, and because you have some ramp in this deck as well, you can get it down early sometimes, so it's a very powerful addition. And like all Spiteful Druid lists, there is a Grand Archivist. And a couple of words about Grand Archivist. Grand Archivist is guaranteed to cast Ultimate Infestation, and you don't really even care where that Ultimate Infestation hits. You might be wary a little bit, okay, that's going to deal 5 damage maybe to my face or maybe somewhere. Doesn't really matter. If it goes to your face, you also get 5 armor, so you're right where you started. If it hits the Grand Archivist, it's still a 4/2, and it just gave you 5 cards and a 5/5. So no matter where the Ultimate Infestation hits, that's okay. It's the refill that counts. Finally, there are 4 tech slots in this deck. In this build I have chosen to use 2 copies of Spellbreaker for silence effect, and then Harrison Jones and Gluttonous Ooze to have 2 weapon removal effects. Many other builds have chosen to include a mind control tech or two, and it can be strong against Paladin. Then again, weapon removal is also strong against Paladin, and the one matchup where mind control tech really shines is against other druids. So if you face a lot of Taunt Druid or a lot of mirror matches, other Spiteful Druids, then you might consider using one of the tech slots or maybe even two for mind control techs. But for most other matchups, I just have not found mind control tech to be good enough. Another fairly common inclusion is Leroy Jenkins, to give you a little bit of additional reach. To be honest, I haven't found that to be influential enough either. I quite prefer this build. As for the mulligans with this build, there are two cards that you always keep. You keep Firefly, you keep Prince Kelazet. That early game is just very important in the current metagame, in Hearthstone probably always, and the Kelazet buff is extremely valuable. Other than that, if you're facing aggressive decks and need to defend yourself, you look for Crypt Lord, you look for Tar Creeper, and if you're facing slow decks and want to be the attacker, then you're looking for stuff like Spiteful Summoner and Greedy Sprite, so that you can get your ramp going. And as for tech cards, they depend on the matchup. These are very good tech cards against Warlock in particular, so against Warlock you might want to keep a weapon removal effect and a silence effect so that you can deal with the Skull of the Manari, and you can also deal with lackeys. Weapon removal also tends to be really good right now against Rogue, because most Rogues are either Odd Rogues or Quest Rogues, and that weapon removal can give you a bit of a tempo advantage in both matchups. As always, I have prepared a bunch of gameplay material of this deck for you, and if you enjoy this content then please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more. And now let's go take a look at some Spiteful Druid gameplay. Do I keep Spellbreaker? I might against Rogue, because one of the ways to die against Rogue is a big Edwin. So I could try Spellbreaker, and I want to ramp. Oh, it's a back Rogue. Maybe I should have kept the Chain Gang. We have Sai Mulligan incorrectly after all. When you do things wrong, Firefly top deck to the rescue. Next when he daggers up, he kills the Firefly. If I coin the Flame Elemental, I can still kill this next turn. I'll coin the Flame Elemental. Let's try this. He kills the Firefly, I kill the Squire before it's cold-blooded. Then I try to set up something. And now I get to remove this minion. Because cold-blooded minion, especially with Divine Shield, would be a huge problem to something like Tar Creeper. If he plays the Tug, I can't silence it yet, only next turn. I actually don't want to play the Tar Creeper out there just to die. We'll see how it goes. I experienced a short lag spike there. Dropped frames. Lost stuff in the game. Interesting choice. Very interesting choice. I think I'll respond to this by killing that one and playing the Tar Creeper, which can then potentially block the Fledgling. Next turn Spiteful Summoner, right? Oh, silence is good. Please don't find Wind Fury. Stealth, alright. Not much I can do about stealth really, but I can silence that later still. That remains an option. Now we channel Summoner here, every time. Every time Summoner time. Okay, now we have some minions. Challenges the Fledgling, but he might just race me. Does he find Wind Fury this time? He couldn't get it last time, he doesn't get it this time, because if he got Wind Fury he would have taken it already. Can he kill the 8/8? Oh, he has a Vile Spine too, so he can kill the 8/8. He can kill a lot of stuff, I see. That's awkward. That's another 6 damage coming in. I have no more taunts. At least 6 damage, maybe more. Can't really use the Fungal Mancer effectively. I could silence the fledgling, but that also doesn't do that much. I have to go with the Spiteful Summoner and hope for the best. Next turn I have the option to play the Archivist. 16, 17. 17 plus 5. 17 plus 5 is still not enough. So he can still keep raising me. Now he found the Wind Fury. This might be lethal. This might end up being lethal. Down to 12. He needs 9 from hand. 7 in addition to the dagger. Leroy doesn't do it. Double Cold Blood does. Interesting. Down to 10. Oh, and got the buff there, which was really sweet for him. Well, this is awkward. I have 16 plus 5, so that's 21. I'm 2 off. Probably need to defend myself. I could silence that, so only way to go would be with Crypt Lord and silence. Then I could trade away these. He would have 5 on board. I would have a 7 health taunt. He has already used 1 silence and a Wild Spine. I won't have lethal for next turn either though. I think I'll still try that. I think I have to try this. I think this is my best chance. Problem is that I don't set up lethal this way. And he's able to push through another taunt. Oh dear, oh dear. I have to risk it with the Grand Archivist. I have no taunts. I can't leave him with 5 up. Another 5 from hand would kill me. I will need to risk it. It's Archivist time. So kill this one. But I also kill this one. And then the Archivist will roll. And if it hits anything but my face, I get up to... If it hits anything but my face, I get up to 15. Let's see. Hi, Tickle. That was another lag spike. My internet connection has been unstable today. We'll see how this goes. So it hits itself, but that still heals me for 5. So that still pushes me outside of Leroy reach. Okay, this is probably still fine. Yeah, he is kind of forced to trade. He can't go face. He's dead if he goes face. He's dead on board if he goes face. And now I should survive this. I mean, I could play like Serenite Chain Gang, Crypt Lord, that's 7 mana. Glacial Shard, freeze the board, that's 9 mana. And push, and next turn I play double Fungal Mancers. And just freeze stuff. And hit face. I don't want to play the Firefly out there. I want to have some room on the board. Roll those double Fungal Mancers next turn. I might still try with this hand. But yeah, even Paladin is 70-30 against Spiteful Druid, so even Paladin is way favored in the match. Extremely bad for the Druid. Well, that's a quest rogue then. At least we have the Kelazet. Obviously loses the buff when sapped, but it's something. 2/7 Crypt Lord. I'll have one of those, thank you. And then we try to hit face. I think I wanted this so that I can protect my board a little bit better over the greedy sprite right now, which would give me an earlier ramp, but he still wouldn't kill the greedy sprite immediately. Okay. He's going to Shadow Step that Sonya back. He's going to use one charger and then he's going to Shadow Step the Sonya back. Which means that next turn he can play another 4 chargers, which gives him the quest completion. That's a quest on turn 4. Well, that was seriously bad for me. There probably is no way to survive this. I don't think I can beat quest on 4. I'm feeling a little bit laggy here still. It's always going to be Sonya and 4 boars. You don't get to see that very often. I think I need to take away the dagger. Too bad he had the boar. If he had just the deckhand, I would have been able to survive this because I could take away the dagger and then he couldn't do it. But when he had exactly the boar, he needed Sonya Shadow Step and the boar. Exactly those cards. Wouldn't be able to do it with the deckhand because I could remove the weapon. But that's one of the greatest ways to complete the quest. This is the super nut draw of the quest rogue, when he has everything perfect. Yep, that's that. So next turn he can play the quest, but does he have prep? That's a key question. I can always trade Sonya away with this. Then I will obviously hit face. I think it's greedy sprite time. Let's try this. So he doesn't have prep. That's good to know. But I can take away that dagger again. In case he has deckhands. Or I can play Malfurion with the poison spiders. So is it Harrison? I push 8, push him down to 9. It's got to be Harrison. Because Harrison might prevent some kind of plays with the... Harrison might prevent some kind of plays with the South Sea deckhand. So if he doesn't have prep now, he can only play 1 minion with the quest, or he can play multiple minions without the quest. 1 minion with the quest is obviously not going to be enough. 1 Shadow Step has been spent. He top decked the prep. He top decked the prep. That's beautiful. That's very, very powerful. And he had 2 Shadow Steps too. Wow. That hand was sick. That hand was really, really sick. That was a seriously nutty hand. So now even Mushroom Power cannot kill him. He is down to just 3 cards. So my options are to play Malfurion or to play Lich King. If he has found the rush minion with lifesteal, that's always going to win, right? Pretty close at least. I think Lich King is the play. It's Lich King and face. Let's see what happens here. Army of the Dead. Army of the Dead might be okay. Summon spiders. That's an alternative. On the other hand, I would rather do it on 9 when I can do things with the Malfurion hero power as well. And Lich King could have given me a board clear. Or it could have given me Death and Decay. Or Death Coil. So there are so many things that I could have gotten from Lich King. Now he threw away that charge minion. Well, that was only the first charge minion that he has. I still have Mushroom Power if something survives. Gets more bounces. He has had 2 Shadow Step Sonya and the Brewmaster this game. Zola is the only thing missing. And gets the Wax Elemental. Oh, that's sad. Now if Lich King gave me Doom Pact, this would be a win. But no Doom Pact. Life is more difficult. Poisonous Spiders. Yeah, they contest the board a little bit. I have both Ultimate Infestations in hand. I would have needed to push 1 more damage to face. Is there a way? Army of the Dead. No, it can't bring anything good enough. It has got to be the Malfurion here. There's 25 on board. Unfortunately I lagged, so I couldn't make a choice. Yeah, so I didn't get to use the hero power. Found another fan. He can't afford to take 1 damage to face. Unless he has healing. But the Wax Elemental is pretty good. So now over 2 turns he will have enough, right? Or will he? If he top decks Vanish. So he has 21. I play Ultimate Infestation on face. And then he has to top deck Vanish. Then he has to top deck Vanish or... It's either Vanish or the Lifesteal minion. Because even if he top decks a boar, that's going to be 26 and I'm at 27. He has to top deck Vanish, or he has 4 out of 14 to win. I guess because of all the BM it looks like he top decked Vanish. He top decked Vanish. What can you do? That's an amount of luck that cannot be denied. Let's try to keep that. We'll see what it is and where this goes. I don't really have anything to challenge Cleric on 1. There's no Cleric on 1. That's good. Then we go in with the Firefly. That's not promising. That is not promising. Well, I go in with the small stuff. Let's try. Then I can go in Scalebane on 4, maybe. Try to turn this into actual threats from that point on. Ooh, Crypt Lord, yeah, Crypt Lord is fine too. He might have a Duskbreaker next turn, that would kill everything but the Crypt Lord. Then I go in the Scalebane, Crypt Lord goes to 4 health, so the Duskbreaker can't kill it. And it will have some health left. Something like that is in the plans. Now that I'm going to try with the Scalebane here to get to build some kind of threats here. So he might have Shadow of Death for the Scalebane, for example. But then there's at least a 4-2 that's also able to push that sort of plans. There's the Death. He might have a Duskbreaker still as well. Playing the Samurai Chain Gang really plays into that Duskbreaker. I suppose I can't do that. I probably need to just keep pushing with these. Let's see. Not able to apply as much pressure as I hoped I would. Next turn he can Psychic Scream this back and give me a bunch of Flame Elementals into the deck. Which would be nasty. If he really can't find a Duskbreaker. Oh, it's an OTK build. Hi, Mr. Phantom. Now that's interesting. So then he can summon more of these. I don't like him summoning more of those. I think I'll silence that so that he doesn't get the benefits of the effect. And then I will just push face with everything. Because if he needs to Psychic Scream Malygos into my deck, that kind of ruins his thing now, doesn't it? I mean, he still has Velen, obviously. He could have the Duskbreaker now. Does he even have Duskbreaker in the deck? No, he can't have a Duskbreaker in that. Yeah. So he gave me the Malygos. Now he's all in on Velen. Alright. We got him all in on Velen. Then we roll with some more minions. Okay. That's only 5 damage though, so not a real threat. And once he finds Velen, he can still be fine. Oh, and he of course has also the Malygos that's in his deck, so that's something too. I'll have to sacrifice my Spiteful Summoners if I go with the Archivist now. But I suppose I always go with the Archivist here. I think it's always the Archivist. And most likely it's something on my board. But we get a 5/5, we get a bunch of stuff on the board. Didn't even kill itself, which was nice. Alright, can he deal with the board now? Holding over does a little something. That's the second Shadow of Death. Okay, he's in real damage control mode right now. Not the Malfurion time yet, I think. I want to try to go in with more minions. So play Harrison. And I think I'll play a Greedy Sprite. And the Flame Elemental. Keep trying to push. Okay. Got him down to 12. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if he doesn't kill any of these things, then I have lethal with the Malfurion, even if he heals face. But of course he's going to do something. But it is an upside that he's in damage control mode. Well, that kills the Harrison. He had double death, and he had the Anduin as well. So that's pretty cool. How do I push? Pushing through the Anduin isn't that easy. He's at 13. Do I want to turn myself into Malfurion now? I think I do. I might be able to top deck Fungal Mancer, for example, if something survives on the board. So let's play the Malf. And we make the 1/5s. And I'll take +3 attack, I want to push face damage. And I'll play a Firefly. Let's do this. Ha, Yubble. Alright, so I'm at 40, he's at 10. Malygos is in my deck. Can he find more answers? He has already spent 1 Divine Hymn as well, so some of the healing is gone. Okay, that's fine. That's completely fine. None of these were buffed anyway. 2 Fungal Mancers in the deck. Well, there's plenty of cards in the deck, so it's not that likely that I can find them. Binding Heal. Oh, I didn't expect that. So I still don't have him, but I keep pushing. Of course with the hero power as well. It's time to push. What can I play on the board? Has he found another Psychic Scream yet? Possibly. Spiteful Summoner's 4/4 buddy is actually pretty decent here. I'll play that. And I'll play the Flame Elemental as well. Let's do this. Hi, Sharpened. I'm struggling a little bit with my internet connection today. It doesn't feel laggy now in game, but I'm still occasionally dropping frames. I already reset it once. So I'll have to look into that one more. Alright. Well, it's time to hit him in the face again, obviously. Play another Spiteful. Play some Fireflies. Play an Elementals. And now he needs to heal. He needs to find a way to heal, because Ultimate Infestation kills him. It doesn't matter, he's really desperate here. But he might find the tool still. I mean, like Spirit Lash with this one. That's powerful. That's very, very powerful. Yeah, he found Velen just in time. Halfway through his deck and he finally found Velen. I don't want to let him resurrect the Velen, right? So I'll silence the Velen. So there's a Mind Blast list with Velen. It's not really a Mind Blast list as such, it's an OTK list. Velen Malygos, so no, it doesn't bear any resemblance to the Mind Blast Priest that's currently being played. So we play Tar Creeper, silence away the Velen's power, and freeze Velen's body, and try to push more. He has had 2 Psychic Screams, both from Shadow Visions, so he has another 2 Psychic Screams left. But what I'm trying to force here is that if he needs to Psychic Scream again, he needs to give me Velen too.
Shadowy thoughts.
The important thing is to try to make it so that he cannot kill off the Velen. Well, he can actually kill off the Velen with his own hero power if Velen gets to attack. But I don't have another Glacial Shard. Well, I could top deck another Glacial Shard, but yeah, he can actually kill the Velen next turn. Then he can resurrect it. It's possible to climb Legend with it. Berserking, it's possible to climb Legend with anything right now. I mean, the meta before Legend is getting pretty easy at this point. He threw away the Mind Blasts, which is a good sign. But he can still kill off the Velen. If I push 6, he's still at 8. He kills off the Velen and he resurrects the Velen. He's like the new iteration of Big Priest. It's an OTK Priest, not really a Big Priest either. He kills off the Velen, he resurrects the Velen. Then what happens? I'm not sure. Because he has spent a lot of resources. He can kill the Velen and then he can Psychic Scream. I think I need to Ultimate Infestation his face now. But now he can kill the Velen and then he can Psychic Scream again. And that might give him more healing later on. Or he can kill the Velen and he has 8 mana remaining. He resurrects the Velen, but if he only runs the Spellstones, he can't resurrect the Velen. He can resurrect the Velen and use Binding Heal. I think the key here is that he needs to kill off his own Velen now so that he can resurrect it. Right. And of course, having run him down to 4 cards is good. Having had him spend both Mind Blasts is good. Now he kills off his own Velen every time. Look, he is actually a competent player. That's great to see. Love to see that. He was running Servitude. He was running Servitude after all. But that still wasn't enough. Sweet. I would like to be a bit more aggressive than this, though. I think I'll keep the Sky just in case. Just in case I need to rush down something. And I gave Harrison for weapon removal, but others I mulligan back in order to try to find some actual threats. I find some actual threats. They just don't come immediately. Shadows and the Resurrection Probe not enough for anything good, yeah. Not playing Baku, by the way. Interesting. Well, we're all in with these. So is it just a... It's a Dead Man's Hand Warrior. Ooh, that would be painful. And so now I have the option to rush down the Stonehill Defender, for example. But I think I don't take that option yet. I rather play the Greedy Sprite. You can of course play Blood Razor. which will nicely deal with the greedy sprite. But it will also give me some. It will also give me some mana, which means that this turn I can then coin a Spiteful Summoner, and then we get to see if he has found an execute. Managed to roll 7, 14. Well, execute is the only thing that kills them anyway, so we'll see. Yeah, well, he gave it to me. He didn't have to give it to me. I gave him the choice. Do you give me this Spiteful now or do you not? And he said, oh, right, I really want to give it to you. I feel like you deserve it. And then I was like, alright, sweet. But I guess he has execute. Okay, he doesn't have execute, he's looking for execute. He's looking for execute for next turn. He might find execute for next turn. Who knows? Or he can find brawl. Tough things to play into, execute and brawl. He's almost guaranteed to have one or the other.
Let's see.
So then he just brawls this away. I think I'll roll in with the Scalebane. This plays around brawl the best. Obviously still gives him a chance to execute this, and then he will have 4 mana left over, which would be enough to potentially deal with this. Oh, he's going to shield slam it. Well, that's a big shield slam. That was a really, really big shield slam. So it's a Dead Man's Hand warrior. That's interesting. I think we're going all Lich King on him. He still has the taunt minion that he got from... He hasn't had any executes, but he still has that taunt minion. I think I'll still rush this in. Let's do it like this. But he can shield slam the Lich King too if he has another shield slam. Because that was a lot of armor from the Bring It On. Let's see. They're trying to play around brawl a little bit here. That double shield slam. That was strong. That was some strong stuff. I think I will keep playing around the brawl. You can also have stuff like Gore Howl. I guess I do commit the Dark Reaper here. It's likely to get buffed anyway. So I should have some pretty decent minions here. Potentially brawlable board, absolutely, but at least gives some pressure. Well, I need to trade that in, and then it's the Archivist time. It's Archivist time. I have to trade that one in. These are going face. Then we'll see where the Ultimate Infestation lands. 40% to land on one of my minions. But I'm of course going for that 20% high roll. Come on. Oh, hit my face. That's the second best option. That would be the best one. This is the second best. In comes the brawl. Okay. He has not had an execute. But he still doesn't. That's good, that's good. I'll probably go a bit wider now. I didn't find any big threats. I didn't find Fungal Mancers, I didn't find Spiteful. Didn't find Kelesset. I will probably try to freeze his face. Because he could have stuff like Gore Howl there. I can go in with the Crypt Lord, right? Yeah, I suppose it's Crypt Lord. Chain Gang. And freeze his face. And then push with this. So then we get to see if he has found another brawl. And there are some other things he can have too, like Warpath. But so far we have been doing a pretty good job on getting his resources down. He has the Warpath. Triple Warpath kills everything but this, draws him 3 cards. That's That's really strong. Well, he has had all the removal pieces he can hope for, because he has had all the card draw pieces. That's like really cool for him, that he found all the possible card draw immediately. But I still have an Ultimate Infestation in the deck, so it's time to play another Spiteful. Of course, now he's very likely to have another Brawl available. But it's not like I can do much about it. Well, I can obviously play around it a little bit by not committing more to the board. But I guess there's going to be another Brawl. Isabel Lion, hi old guardian, where are you from? I'm from Finland. He just gets all the card draw. I mean, that's all the card draw in his deck. And he immediately had all of the card draw in his entire deck. So that's strong. And he's going to have double Dead Man's Hand. This has to be Fungal Mancer, right? I mean, silence this and Fungal Mancer. Stop him from drawing even more cards. So I push in 9 damage. 10 damage. Not quite enough to kill him. We're getting a bit closer here. Do I silence the Acolyte? He's going to Dead Man's Hand probably before the next Brawl. I think it's worthwhile still to silence the Acolyte. Let's silence the Acolyte. I don't want to give him additional card draw, just in case he hasn't found the Dead Man's Hands yet. That's the second execute. So we've got 2 executes, we've got 2 shield slams, we have Brawl. Oh, I positioned wrong. That was my bad. I didn't think it through. Of course he has Garrosh. I should have thought about that. It's an upside that I can take away the weapon immediately, but I still should have thought about that. Now he has this hero power. I'm going with the Chain Gang. And hero power him in the face. He has 1 Bring It On left. He has a Warpath, he has a Brawl, he has the Dead Man's Hands. With my hat if he can still stabilize and win. There's the second Warpath. I mean, well, he drew his deck, he got all the cards, and he played all the cards. But he still has the Dead Man's Hands, so shouldn't he still be able to win the game with those? But I haven't found Malfurion. So I play the Crypt Lord. Unfortunately he's going to kill the Harrison next turn. I'll silence one of the Armor Smiths. I will kill the one that is not silenced. Push 5 to face. And that's it for this turn, right? I'll take back my words. Yeah, he's definitely getting somewhere here. I've been playing Spiteful Druid. I think Spiteful Priest is stronger. I've already played Spiteful Priest. There's a video of Spiteful Priest on my channel. I actually made a good Spiteful Priest, because everyone thinks Spiteful Druid is way stronger than Spiteful Priest right now. Spiteful Druid is a tier 1 deck, Spiteful Priest is a tier 3 deck. But I think my Spiteful Priest is pretty good. I cannot find Malfurion. That's a problem. I also don't have much left in other resources either. I think I'll play the Firefly here. Yeah, Spiteful Druid is doing extremely well on the ladder now. I'm surprised you had not noticed that. Because it is considered one of the absolutely best decks at the moment. I mean, I kind of needed that Malfurion. And he still has 2 Dead Man's Hands, right? Yep, he still has 2 Dead Man's Hands, so he's not going to go to Fatigue. And he Dead Man's Hand to Bring It On. And the Blood Razor, I see. Yeah, that does give him something. Which deck is stronger, Even Paladin or Spiteful Druid? Even Paladin is stronger. So I can just take away the weapon here. With the ooze. But I needed that Malfurion. So it's really bad for me that Malfurion is at the bottom and Fungal Mancer is also at the bottom. I need to try to maintain 2 minions on the board so that I could have potential Fungal Mancer board. He still has a Brawl left. He was able to find Blood Razor immediately again. That was pretty lucky. Because that was not at all obvious that he would be able to find it immediately again. And I really need the Malfurion. Come on. I can't find the Malf. That's bad. So next draw is either Fungal Mancer or Malfurion. I'll freeze his face now. Does he have a Whirlwind left? Maybe. I'm going with the Dark Reaper. That's definitely a thing. Now the Fungal Mancer top deck here and Malfurion last card, right? No, now I got the Malfurion. When I needed it the least. When I needed the Fungal Mancer more, then I get the Malfurion. This is just terrible. These draws are never coming in the right order right now. Let's see. I'll try to push. I mean, I know he has a Bring It On in the deck, and he's going to shuffle another Bring It On into the deck. But does he have any card draw left? How good is Big Spell Mage? Not that good, but some people have some success with it. There's the Brawl, so he has another Brawl left as well, because he shuffled a Brawl with the Dead Man's Hand. Now I don't have the 2 minions that I wanted to have for the Fungal Mancer. I might still be able to just kill him even though he shuffles Bring It Ons into the deck, because he doesn't draw Bring It On every turn. But once he has Dead Man's Hands and Bring It On left only,
I'm out of cards.
He's actually going to be fine, right? He can also get another Brawl. He can kill this if he likes. He might have the other Brawl already. He can kill this even if I buff it with the Fungal Mancer, which is a major problem. I have to trust that the other Brawl is not there yet. I mean, if the third Brawl is in hand, then I suppose I will lose. I have to trust that the third Brawl is not there yet. Because if he doesn't have the third Brawl here, then I should win. Is the third Brawl in the bottom 2, or was it one of these 3 cards? 5 cards, 3 cards to draw the Brawl, 2 cards do not have the Brawl yet. I take that to mean that he just top decked the Brawl. He just top decked the Brawl. Actually, isn't he just dead here? Because I can UI his face. No, because he has to Bring It On too. Okay. So how long until he finds the next Bring It On? There's a Bring It On in his deck. Fatigue plus UI spreadsheet. Yeah. He's at 9. He dies. He's at 5. There he goes. Yeah, I know, I'm not dying to fatigue from this. Easy. Skeleton 2. Ooze on 3. I think I need silence because this might be something else than Quest Rogue, and if it's something like Miracle then I need silence. I guess I'm mulligan Scalebane. Quest Rogue control plays Nightmare, don't feel like playing Standard while it's around. Yeah, I can't play any of my favorite decks. I haven't been able to play any of my favorite decks since Witchwood was released. So there's that. I think I need to coin Keleset on this. It's a quest stroke, so I need to try to be a bit faster. Yeah, Isabel Line, I've said numerous times that it's my connection. It's still my connection.
This'll be good.
What you want? Problem isn't quest stroke. The best problem is when I play against the same deck a few times in a row. Haha. Okay, I haven't seen Taunt Druids in ages. No one has been playing Taunt Druid for a long time. It came and went really quickly. It was like 3 days and then it was all gone. Because stuff like quest stroke beats it so badly. Shen, do you agree the Witch was a big letdown overall? I still don't know. It's way too early to say, really. Because we don't know what this meta is going to turn out to be yet. The meta is still changing daily. Like Tempo Mage became a big thing 2 days ago. How can you say that something is a big letdown or it's good when you don't really know what the overall effect? I need tempo, so I want to play the Spellbreaker up for tempo. Meta is Pala or Warlock. Really? Because I'm facing mostly Quest Rogue. Isabella, I reached Legend playing Spiteful Druid. I can assure you it beats Taunt Druid. Yeah, Spiteful Priest has... Spiteful Priest, yeah. Yeah, Spiteful Priest has easy time against Taunt Druid. Well, not always an easy time. It still depends on the draws. You just need to grab the Lich King. Then you win. I keep occasionally dropping a frame. Oh, he has a Glacial Shard, right? That sucks if it's Glacial Shard. Yeah, that sucks. That really sucks. Because that's so strong right here. Feels bad, man. I can take down the Wax Elemental, but I can't touch the Glacial Shard. Maybe I don't take down either of them. That gives him the Vanish, though. But if I take down this one, it still leaves my board really weak. So I think I'll give him the Vanish. If he has the Vanish. Level 4 and 5 are full of Taunt Druids and Cube Warlocks. Yeah. It all comes up. Eventually. On the lower ranks they play outdated decks a lot. He has a bounce for that. He had the bounce already in hand. He's willing to take a bit of a chance with it. So cool. He's going to freeze again, right? Of course he is. He doesn't want to freeze again. Now that's interesting. So it killed the entire board. In exchange to not playing the Spiteful Summoner. Does he have Vanish for next turn? Because then he could play Glacial Shard into Vanish, which would be strong. I don't have a whole lot of ways to play around Vanish. Druid of the Sky is my best anti-Vanish play. I'll go with this over Spiteful Summoner, just in case there's a Vanish. So now I can trade here, I can trade there, I can hero power down that one, and I can still push 4 to face as well. I think I like this. This sets up 10 damage board. Obviously he has a Glacial Shard in hand. And doesn't give him back those charges, so he has already lost 2 chargers. That's really good. Okay, he has the Vanish then. I had a bit of a read that he might have Vanish. Because otherwise freezing my face makes no sense. That's why I didn't play the Spiteful Summoner, which I will then do this turn. Now that he spent the Vanish, then I'll play the Spiteful Summoner. So Vanish, 1 Vanish spent, and I get stuff on the board. But he obviously has the Glacial Shard in hand. And Glacial Shard can target the Tyrantus. Does he have another bounce? That at least is not a bounce. Does he find another Glacial Shard? No, but he finds another bounce. Then he can Glacial Shard again. And now if he has another Glacial Shard in hand, or if he has Shadow Step, exactly Shadow Step, oh wow. 2 Shadow Steps, Brewmaster, Vanish, all in the top. And that completes the quest too. Well, that was immensely good. What can you say? Now if he has something like Sonya there, then that's just nuts. So what do I do? Ha! I know what I do. What am I even talking about? I know exactly what I do. I silence the Tyrannus, and I silence the Summoner, and I hit face. That's good. That's a good thing to do. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.